do not judge this movie based on the trailers, because it is definitely a lot better and a lot smarter than the trailers make it look. And actually, I wasn't that impressed by the trailers other than the animation. I thought, okay, we're just doing like the Kung Fu Panda thing again, but with samurai. I was expecting a weak script, an overdone story, but to my great surprise, the movie actually kind of knows what type of film it is, and it's sort of poking fun at its own cliches and tropes. The script was surprisingly smart, and while there were a few jokes that were kind of lowbrow, they were aimed more towards the kids, most of the jokes were pretty smart, and the parents are going to get a lot of laughs out of this movie because the jokes aren't inappropriate, but they're not jokes kids will get because they're not getting what's being spoofed, what's being satirized. And I actually found myself laughing quite a bit at this film. So it is a little too familiar, and it has a message that's way overdone. But there's still enough heart, wit, and surprise to warrant a viewing. The cast members all work very well off each other. Most of the humor is pretty sharp. The animation's pretty well done, and like I said, it's very self-aware to the point where there's a lot of fourth wall breaking, too. And I will say, Mel Brooks is in this movie, and he plays a character, and it does kind of feel like a Mel Brooks type film, which is what they were kind of going for, I think. It does kind of have that self-aware fourth wall breaking, we know what we're doing, wink wink kind of humor. And yeah, like I said, it's definitely a lot smarter than the trailers show. I just think this movie was very poorly marketed because none of the good jokes in this movie were in the trailer. But the actual movie itself was quite smart. But like I said, the story is very safe. It doesn't exactly break any new ground, but the jokes are what more than make up for it. So while I can't necessarily see this being nominated for Best Animated Film or anything, it's still worth a viewing. It's still got enough charm. I think a lot of people can get a kick out of it, especially if they're kind of in on the joke of what's being spoofed. So I would say that Paws of Fury for me gets a B, an 8 out of 10, and a 4 out of 5 stars.